Hello everyone, I'm Fiona Mboa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries. Excited to bring a topic that is very beautiful and one that is rarely spoken about. And remember, here at Ring Diaries, we want to bring you real people sharing real experiences and not experts. We are bringing people that are going to we're just sharing experience. There's no expert in marriage. We're just trying to do whatever we can to make our marriages better. And this evening, we're going to talk about infidelity in marriage. And to discuss that with me is Mrs. Balimanya Tendo Gladys. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Tendo has been married for 8 years. How is marriage?
Marriage is fun, marriage is good, and it also has some valleys in it.
It's
Yes.
not just straight.
A bed of roses.
Actually, it's a bed of roses. It has thorns. It
Yeah.
has some thorns here and there.
Some people think some roses don't have thorns.
Oh, they do.
When they think about roses, they think they don't have thorns.
The long-stemmed roses.
Now, when you talk about it, it's you now who understand better what roses are. So you must be a person who loves flowers.
Yes, I do. You're very welcome, Tendo.
Thank you so much.
So infidelity is something that is not really spoken about in most churches, but some churches, of course, have done a lot to see that it's spoken about. But it is not. It doesn't come out the way it should profoundly, or to even stand against it the way we should as a church. But maybe for our viewers out there, what is infidelity? How would you describe infidelity?
Infidelity to me is an act of being unfaithful to your partner, Fiona, and moving out with different kind of relationships outside your marriage,
Unfaithful.
unfaithfulness, and having sexual relationships.
So does it have to be just sexual relationships with other people?
Yes, because infidelity is where probably your spouse or your wife or your husband hasn't yet noticed that you're sleeping out with another person. It's not as adultery. Adultery, someone has gotten to know about it, and probably you're processing divorce papers. You're up to that level. But with infidelity, someone is being unfaithful, whereby some other person, the other person, doesn't know about it.
So infidelity,
Most
it is
times.
not yet openly out.
Thank you very much.
So, but for some people will say, but we are just talking. We are not actually having the sex and all that. We are just flirting. We are just having. I'm just having a good time. Is that also infidelity?
Yeah, because even the Bible talks about it when you lust for a woman, you've already taken her on bed and you've already had the action.
So it doesn't matter if I've done it or not. The fact that I'm thinking about it,
It is sin.
it is sin,
Yes, Fiona.
and it is sin that we should actually frown upon.
Thank you very much.
But it is so everywhere right now. Is it still that bad?
Yeah, it is everywhere and right now, because back in age we never had social medias.
Oh.
Now social media is bringing someone from London, from America,
And you get to
from
hear
Gulu,
about them.
from Lira, from Kablamaido, and we are all in a common society.
So it even looks actually more pronounced because of that. I didn't thought
Thank
about
you
it.
very much. Social media, TikTok, WhatsApp, and that's the reason why we are having it so much, and it's the reason why people are running away in their marriages, especially in this era that we are in so much. Because someone easily gets to know quickly compared to back in age.
Yes.
Someone would kukuta with their relationship unknowingly. It
But
was
right
rare,
now-
but right now you just hook up someone's phone and apps have come whereby you can get into someone's password.
Yeah.
It is.
Are you sure,
I'm
Ten?
telling you,
You
it
should
is
tell,
now
you should tell
upgraded.
us which ones.
I
For
don't.
the
I'm
sake
not
of
an
our
expert,
marriage.
but I've heard about people. Yeah, nowadays people click into people's passwords. They get to know all the information. Yes.
So what causes infidelity? Because from the beginning we are loving each other. By the time we get married, we are in love. We've known each other, and we've decided that we're going to spend the rest of our lives with. And one of the vows that we make is actually forsaking all others, be faithful to only you. So what causes infidelity in marriage?
Lack of commitment, Fiona.
But I've committed to you by marrying you.
Some people just get married not thinking about this is a life commitment. Some people miss out that.
Okay.
Some people get married because of excitement and they are not
The big
committed. Yeah, the big
wedding.
wedding. I want to show off to my orgies and orgies because I've been seeing Fiona has gotten married off, and I also want to jump into the boat, knowing in the boat there are winds that
Okay.
come along and blows the boat.
Mm.
Will you be able to stay in the boat and not fall in the deep waters?
So the lack of commitment.
Some people are not committed to the wildernesses, the winds that blow on the oceans and the rivers.
We just want the fun
We just want
part.
the fun part of it. We want the boat to say yeah without the winds.
So when the winds come, you're like,
Sijja kusobola, please park the boat, I get out, continue.
So why don't we get out? Because I think what infidelity is I'm still at home, but I'm still finding some. So I'm actually not parking the boat. I'm just bringing someone else on board. Why don't we? If I'm not committed to you, why don't I just leave you?
I think it's now where I come in with some. It also comes from being physical to a spiritual level, Fiona. Because I'm telling you, if you're in the boat and still you want to go fetch into another boat or maybe sit into another boat, yet you have a proper known boat of yours, that is known. For example, you have maybe how do they that okay, let's call it a submarine, and then you want to go into a canoe.
Why is it always what if you're in a canoe and you want to go to a submarine?
The submarine is not yours. You belong to a canoe. Your name is Mrs. Balimanya. You're not called Mrs. Tamale. You know, that's why we are different. So I think some people lack commitment. That's the commitment I'm talking about. That's why we have different varieties that Fiona, how many years have you spent in your marriage?
13.
13. And I'm 8 years. That's why we have those differences, Fiona.
Yes.
We can't be the same.
We can't be on
I
the
have
same
my
level.
long hair, your hair is short. That's the commitment. You and your partner, probably that's what your partner loves to see on you, you know. But some people lack that commitment. When you enter into the relationship and you're like, we have to move a life of commitment, knowing what is about Mwami Balimanya. Some people don't want to know them deeper. Tonsi manyo. Mpamu wazi.
And yet we are married.
We are one.
Yes.
Because the Bible says, what has been joined together, no one should put asunder. So why would you put asunder?
So minus commitment, what other things that make us step out of our submarines, as you've said?
I think there are so many other causes that can even make us emotional deprivations. Some people are deprived of different emotions. For example, career wise.
Okay.
For example, when your spouse happens to lose a job, and it so happens it's now the wife providing. Sometimes some women have not understood the calling of helping, being helpers in the family, and should probably think, this man tachamalako bulungi, I'm not supposed to be with him. I'm not supposed to stand in the gap of being the provider.
So I need to get another person to provide for me.
Yeah, that alone can depress her, yet she's the one earning more. And on another side, it can also be vice versa. A man can feel not a man enough in such a situation, and decides maybe to go and maybe do pick up on other person. Yes.
So they feel that something is lacking emotionally.
Something is
and
lacking.
You seek for it
and
outside.
You seek for it outside. And then another thing, lack of enough love. Some people tebabagadde bulungi. abaami tebaagadde bakyala baabwe bulungi. Ephesians 5:25 talks about husbands, love your wives with the washing of their clothes, you know, like Christ loved the church. Christ has loved his church. When you sin, you go, you ask for the forgiveness, he forgives you,
and you continue like nothing
and you
has
continue
happened.
like that. So husbands, have you tried to go an extra mile and know what Fiona loves? Or you're just buying things that I don't love?
That's true.
You know who Tendo is. Manya buziba nsima. Nsima
Fine.
omanye.
Like know who I really am.
Know what I love, what I hate. So some people have not been loved well. Fabachala twagala Fiona. If you do not love me well, you know. So probably at times that can also cause infidelity. Omukyala mwagale ate fe abakyala twagala buntu butono. Twagala butonotono gwe nkugambe nti Fiona mpa ebimuli. Just flowers. Or maybe take me for ice cream. No ice cream olayo sikwagale gwe mwami Balimanya. Yes.
So we need to learn our people learn what they love.
Thank you, Fiona. We need to love them. Now the loving, when Ephesians talks about husbands, love your wives. Now it goes further. Wives, submit. When a husband loves you, Fiona, properly bulungi nnyo, I'm going to submit.
Without even second thought.
You have the money on your account. Nayo ndabye nina essimu nkadde. Buy me a new phone. Love me with a new phone. We've just celebrated Valentine's. Dear marrieds out there. You just stop on a rose, or you just like
a rose? Some didn't get anything.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
Tebafuna Fiona. Naye nze nafuna mwami Balimanya yampa.
Lucky, you're
I
very
don't
lucky.
know about you, Nayenze Fiona. Mwami Balimanya yampa. We are intentional about this whole thing. Kubanga kankwe, when you don't love someone, it becomes boredom.
Yes.
And now that's also another cause of infidelity.
So if I feel I'm not loved well,
then
someone else
TikTok, there is someone I'll get obulungi. And I'll start following this guy. From following, I will inbox. Can I please meet you? What you talk about on TikTok or WhatsApp inspires me.
Yes.
And before you know it, I've met him in his office. And what next? Because I'm bored with my partner at home.
So we need to be exciting.
Thank you, Fiona. Exciting, fun in our homes. When I have a fumbo. Kolayo ku bintu ebisanyusa. Omwami wo byayagala. Waba ayagala mmere. Fumbe mmere. Sibe emiwumbo gy'emmere. Learn. Nowadays we have Google, we have YouTube. Go on YouTube, learn how to make different dishes. Thank you, Luombo. Fiona, my husband doesn't like me. And I will not prepare a Luombo because Fiona prepares Luombo.
Yes.
But I know his niche. I know what excites him with food-wise. Another cause.
So someone gets another person kwanga ndi mukyala.
Fiona, those nitty-gritty things zolabanga obutono obwo. Those are some of the things that actually bring in louder voices. For us, we think, maybe I need to do something bigger,
yes.
something broader. No, omuntu ayagala buyonja. And you see those husbands, when they come back home, they want to find a spacious atmosphere created by you as a wife.
Okay.
Kati nange golaba. I have a home manager at home. But I want when I get back home, I find a place my home when it is clean and smelling nice. Just okutuuka ewaka Fiona nga wachafu. It turns me off. So I'm encouraging married wives. Let's purpose to put in those ingredients in our marriages. We need our homes to be like flowers. Those men, besides coming from offices, hustling, bayombe babosses babavumye ku mirimu, the reports have been working about an app or maybe a presentation that has not worked out for a day, and he comes back in a dirty home. Fiona.
But it is, we need to work on ourselves. But Tendo, there are people who have done all that, and
Yeah.
still someone goes. So some women actually have reached a point of, why am I bothering? Because I have seen this being done. I've done all this, and he still goes out. Or even the man says, I've loved, I've bought flowers, I have done all that, but still the woman goes out.
And now that's also now that's a different one, because now we've been talking about these ones who are not paying attention to their
Their
partners.
partner.
But now to this one, some things as we born again Christians are spiritual. You know, whereby you have to go on a battle line in the spirit and pray. What does the Bible teach us about this? Ngomwami muloge.
Really?
Yes, when the wife has really, some people actually battle with spiritual backwardness or generational curses, whereby their mother was not stable in the marriage, and their father was not stable, and their great grandfather, their sisters, and I'm telling you, you find that there has been that sequence, Fiona. That you
So
need to step
regardless of
out
what
as
you
a
do,
Christian
and
and create an altar of prayer and fasting for your partner to become better.
become better.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any other causes of infidelity apart from the not being committed, not knowing our people well, not giving them attention? What are things that usually cause infidelity?
Frequent conflicts. Benga buli kimu kikuyombya Fiona. Eh?
If mbanze bwenti.
Nga togambwako, you're big headed. A husband happens to tell you about something, tukyuseemuko wano. Nze sigambwako, siwabulwa, sisindiikirizibwa. Okay, it might not be kusindiikiriza, but in your kugamba gwe mukwewolerezaako, you never appreciate your partner. All that time you're trying
Grumbling,
to, you're grumbling, you're trying to bring out
comparing.
a quarrel, comparisons. Atemana, if you talked about comparison, women are comparing themselves with others. Men have started comparing themselves with others. The more they compare themselves, the more they jump on the others.
If they're not giving me flowers, let me get someone who's giving me
And
flowers.
that drives us to another point of being uncontented in your marriage. Because, Fiona, there is a time when in your marriage you're going to be lacking, and then the other family
is doing
is
well.
their time of harvesting.
Mm.
And there is also going to come a time of theirs whereby they are the ones now sowing.
And you're harvesting.
But some people don't see the harvest that will come. Some people are
Because
very impatient. Another point, impatience and contentment also brings
patience.
people are not patient with their relations, with their partners. When I was 2 months in marriage, it's not the same way I am in 8 years of marriage. It's work. It's work, but people lack the patience. Tambula ne munno Fiona, mukwate ku mukono. Walk the journey together. Remember the vows that you made on that very day of 8th of October 2016. That's when I made my vows. And like, okay, because I made that commitment,
I'll stick in.
I'll be patient with Fiona. I'll be patient with Mami Balimanya. Where you're big headed, Mami Salakumutwe, at least have a half a head. Oh,
Instead of being big headed.
I'm telling you. Negwe muno nakugamba all the time, please let's try to change over this situation. Emmere eno ogisiriza, ompe emmere esiridde.
Ate waliwo n'abatakugamba. There are those who will actually not say anything about it.
And then that's also now I told you a problem.
Yeah.
Musabire, so that God will give him or her a mouth that can speak, because even the God that we serve speaks.
Yes. So why are you keeping
We don't
quiet?
serve a dumb God. No, our God speaks. So God will cause him to speak. Nga yasobola okujja and proposes to you and giving a proposal for marriage.
Yes. Because also, if people are quiet, then you don't know if he's happy or if he's sad. So we even don't know if we are meeting their needs, as you said earlier. So we need to be able to speak up. So Tendo, if okay, how do we close these gaps? because we've seen one, it is very rampant everywhere now you look, and you say that is because of social media.
Yeah.
Wherever you look, there is something. There is this one being in, even the people we look up to, you find their marriages are falling apart
Falling apart.
because of infidelity. How do we bridge that? What do we do as us? Because I don't want us to look at even other people, but what do we do as us? One, to prevent it from happening if it hasn't yet, but also to make sure it doesn't happen.
I think we need to improve on our commitment and faithfulness as couples. Learn to be transparent, Fiona. Tendo, over time, one of the things that my husband is very proud of me, transparency and openness. This February, I was celebrating his birthday with some of our friends that we invited at home. And he stood and said, one of the things I'm proud of my wife is she's very transparent, very open minded. I'm sure my wife cannot do something without telling. Nze neyankwanye mu ddakiika ebbiri muwandiikira my husband, there is a guy who has been vibing me. Why?
Because
those,
we are one.
thank
Yes.
you. Oh, Butono, don't just take things lightly. If you're flirting with me, I'll tell him. Why? Because now I'm telling you, some people think marriage takes two. No, it takes one. It takes you, your commitment. Why is it my husband can profoundly stand and say my wife is honest, is transparent? Because me, when even now where he's not, he knows, he's sure, he knows that I'm at Family TV. And I've told him about what I'm going to do. So just in case I find anything fishy, anyone writing to me a fishy, flattering message, I'll screenshot it and send it to him. Check out this person. In that when he comes into my phone
and finds that message, he knows you told him about it.
Thank you.
But then, Tendo, there are people you tell about it and then they become a bit hostile.
Maybe that way you're communicating.
No, I know a friend that when he told the wife that this girl is actually disturbing me, I was like, no, I'm sure you're the one who went out looking for her. Like the reaction.
Maybe it also comes that way. At times, some people have how should I call it? Batya, Charlie to say, or maybe some time back, relating it to the current, they might think you're the old person. Yet you've already crossed the journey to this other life.
But also, do you think it has anything to do with the fact that they keep telling us all men have to cheat? So you're constantly waiting for it to happen?
No. Ate kati fa abaloko say who are born again. Why would you be going with the secular beliefs that all men cheat?
But haven't you heard Christians actually who said that?
And those are the Christians who are waving. Those are the Christians who have known profoundly been laid in the rock, in the firm ground. Fiona, when you find a Christian who loves their God can't make such a statement. No. Because you know where you fight your battles from. You know what promises are that have you been given in the Bible. So to me, Fiona, I don't agree with that statement that all men are cheaters.
So we shouldn't be there expecting it to happen. So when the poor man tells you this girl has been deciding, you're like, you've started.
And now that's the problem
started.
you have, and especially with women. Someone is trying to become open to you,
and you start.
You have started. Just thank the person. Now, Katikano, I'm giving you a tip. Appreciate this man, actually celebrate him. Hey, Babla, you're such a hunk. Girls are starting to fetch you. This is the way how we should come now. Let's delete, block the person. I'm proud of you for having told me about this. Appreciate that guy. Because the more you start intimidating, men do not want to be intimidated. You're intimidating his ego naturally. You're intimidating his ego. Abachala mulekerawo threatening abaami. Abasaze and mostly men to open up to you must be an appearing person. You must be a welcoming person for them to open up. Now when you make a blockage between you and
never
him,
come back.
He will never tell you any of that. You just see things happening.
Because I'm imagining this person has really come up to you and you're telling them you've started.
Otandise.
They told me this is what we've been waiting for. Already that blocks the way.
Definitely.
But minus that, how do we protect our marriages from infidelity?
I've talked about commitment earlier on, and another thing, uh, let's have communication, clear communication. Let's talk about the small things in our marriages, Fiona. Once you communicate more, this person won't have any other time to look out for other people to pour out his communications to.
That's true. But some people say my person is not a talker.
My husband is also not a talker, but I'm a talker.
So you talk to him when he's quiet.
I entertain him. I entertain my husband. And I'm telling you, when we are at home, my husband now talks more. When we are in people, he will not talk. Unless when he knows
comfort
in me. And even my talking, what does it bring? It brings truth. Abachala tubere n'amazima. When you're talking, let your husband find peace while you're talking, while communicating. Don't just, hey, hey, please bring for me this. Hey, no. Communication. How do you communicate with your spouse?
Be that peace that he comes home to.
Thank you very much. Be that peace. Another thing, respect. Respect your husband. Respect your wife. I wouldn't take a husband who is not respectful to me.
But you're already there. You have him there. What do you do?
But there are red flags that always show before that this person ajja kunchunga. There are those red flags that you always see, but though most people get blinded, they ignore them. Eh?
But love is blind.
The Bible doesn't talk about love is blind. It's us who say that love is blind. The Bible says love is patient. Love is enduring. It's kind. So those red flags before oboziraba. Let's respect our spouses so that we mitigate this gap.
And it's actually amazing. Men who are not respected tend to look for women who respect them.
Thank you very much.
Somehow they will find that person who will respect them, and to them he will be the king.
Things that take away men from their marriages, those small things. He will come back and tell you, because he did not carry off the buveras from my hand, that's why I choose to go. And at office there is a girl whenever your husband gets into the office. Hi, Mr. Balimanya, you're most welcome. Can I get your laptop from you? And you, when he gets back from home, the guy has bought mangoes, he has bought passion fruits, he has bought different kind of things. You stay seated, kulikayo, on WhatsApp or Sereza. Dear wives,
oh God,
learn to welcome and celebrate your husband. These husbands love to be cheered. Me, I cheer my husband when he comes back. I just hear the hooting at the gate. I tell my children, let's get out on the veranda. Welcome back, Daddy. Welcome back, and he comes all blushing, and yet his feeling is the king in the home. He even forgets about the hassles he has had in the day, because he knows when I go back, I have my best cheerers. That's the lead of the mother and their children. Katingalaga oyo.
Wow. We are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation about infidelity in marriage. And from the conversation we are having, clearly, we can actually protect ourselves from these things if only we can do some of the work. Thank you very much for watching. Don't go away. I'm Fiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.